This right here is your biceps. It's just probably not the biceps you were expecting, right? This isn't your biceps brachii, this is your biceps femoris, which is one of 3 hamstrings or posterior thigh compartment muscles. And now, I should say though, biceps is a great name, right? The reason why we say biceps is simply because it has 2 heads, and we see the same thing with biceps brachii, because bi means 2 and ceps means heads. We can see a long head right here, then we can also see a short head. So the long head is going to originate on a region called the ischial tuberosity, which I know you know exactly where that is because I'm sure you've sat on someone and they're like, hey, you have a bony butt. That's the ischial tuberosity in action. Now this is the exact origin for the other 2 hamstrings as well. So semitendinosus and semimembranosus are also going to originate here. But the short head, that's going to originate on the linea aspera, which is this sharp ridge line on the posterior femur. Now, both heads are then going to converge and head to the head of the fibula. So that's going to be the insertion point, meaning the muscle, the full muscle crosses 2 joints. But we got to be very clear here. Only one head crosses 2 joints, while the other head only crosses 1 joint. And that's going to be really important for its function, because the biceps femoris is very important for what's called gait. So in biomechanics, gait is, you can think they're just walking. And you're like, how complicated could walking be? You put one foot in front of the other. Well, you got to think about it, right? Every single time that foot needs to land in the exact right spot. Like, how crazy is it that you are not just falling on your face? Well, that is because of an absolute symphony of muscle contractions, and one of those is going to be the biceps femoris. And so I want to show you what that looks like. So we're going to exit out of this, and this is a really great time to let you know that we are using a 100% free Kenhub article, and we've gone ahead and linked it down in the description below. You can follow along and see everything that I am discussing here. Our articles are basically encyclopedic, where we just break down everything and anything you could want to know about that structure. But I'm going to go to the very top, and what we're going to see is actually a premium feature. This is a video. We like to embed videos in the articles whenever we have one that's relevant to that particular article. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to full screen this, and we are going to check out the actions of the biceps femoris. So push play here, and what we're going to see is this animation that is showing you the first action of the biceps femoris, called extension of the hip. So, which is basically, and this arrow is trying to show you, that's just going to be the femur moving posteriorly in relation to the rest of the os coxa, which we can see up here. So you can see like the sacrum, the coccyx, you can see the femur, the hip joint, and then what you see here in red is going to be that biceps femoris. And so it's kind of shifting it around, showing you what extension looks like. And then we have this silhouette of an individual in the middle of their gait. Right? So you can see that in gait, right, there's going to be a leg that is going to be planted, and that is going to be the one that, it's not really moving backwards as much as it's planted and you are moving forwards, and so relative to the rest of your body it's backwards. And then there was the other one that is going forwards. Well, biceps femoris is essential in that extension phase during gait, right? Really, really important muscle for that. So now we can see it kind of shifting over, and you can see the 2 heads if you look really closely. You can see a head down there, you can see the long head, and now what it's going to do is it's going to show us this flexion of the hip position. And that's not because biceps performs that. Instead, biceps performs knee flexion, right? So this knee flexion, like right now I'm sitting in my chair, and so my knees are just kind of draped over the edge of my seat. That is a flexed position at the knee. And so this is what both the long head and the short head of biceps femoris is going to perform, as well as the other 2 hamstrings as well, and I mean honestly several other muscles. But it's not it, right? There's also going to be rotation at the knee. So this rotation, which sounds kind of crazy, like the knee shouldn't be rotating, right? You think about it. It's highlighting the head of the fibula here in that insertion point, but this rotation is going to be very subtle. What's going to happen is the biceps is capable of doing lateral or external rotation. And it's only about 40 degrees, which is not that much, but you have to think, when you're planting and moving and then lifting up and rotating, the knee needs to be able to make subtle movements in order to always keep you going in the right direction. And that is exactly what we see here with the biceps femoris. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that. And again, we can just kind of take a brief little look at the rest of this article. I want to just show you what our articles have since we're here, like this key facts table. We come down and you can even see a quiz that we'd like to embed in here. Again, the quiz feature, this is a premium feature, but this is, in my opinion, the absolute best way to learn your anatomy, simply because the way we do it is you can actually do study session quizzes, you can do exam quizzes. Study session quizzes is basically just a way to teach you as you take the exam. It's really, really cool and something that I encourage every one of you to check out. Again, this is a 100% free article. Again, this is a premium feature, but you can go ahead and check that out in the link in the description below. But my hope is that you understand a good amount about the biceps femoris today and you learned something good. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're down there, leave us a comment. Let us know what other structures you want us to discuss in future videos. But I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.